Before we head into this episode, just a heads up that this episode was pre-recorded from late 2025. Some of the films mentioned won't be the most recent releases, but if you want to stay up to date with the industry and see what's going on, then check out our socials at alwaysonfilmpod, or you can stay tuned for our upcoming season 2. Enjoy!
Have the intro bit ready.
Should I get my clappy hands ready?
Yes, 1 second. We also need to wave at me.
I should never repeat
clappy
clappy hands ever
That's
again.
horrible.
That is actually disgusting.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Always on Film, brought to you by Transmission Roundhouse.
Hello, welcome to today's episode. Today we have the lovely Lucy Rose Leonard with us, talking all things Dodger and drama school experience, and yeah, it's a really exciting one.
Well, thank you so much, Lucy Rose, for coming and joining us for our episode today. We like to start our episodes with our guests with some icebreaker questions, and so we just wanted to ask you, what are your all-time favourite films?
All-time favourite?
Yeah, or even a comfort film.
Oh, comfort film.
I was going to say that's two different questions.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Narnia was a comfort film during COVID. I was like, oh yeah, magic, White Witch, although she's kind of evil.
But like kind of the icon.
Yeah.
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, absolutely.
Legend.
Yeah.
I think favourite film would be A Compartment Number 6.
Oh, I haven't
Oh, you haven't seen that.
It's a Finnish film director. The guy from Anora, Euro, is in it.
Oh,
no
And it's a
way.
Finnish student travelling on a train, and it's one of the best things I've ever seen.
really?
Yeah, and it's also, I guess, underrated that no one.
Yeah, I was
really
going
knows
to
it.
say.
Yeah. Wow, we should check that out.
I was going to
Yeah,
say that's going to
definitely.
go on my list
And
now.
and I loved him in Nora as well.
Oh,
and I'd
yeah,
never seen him in anything.
masterpiece.
Well,
before.
he plays this drunk Russian man on a train, and
Wow.
he's absolutely amazing. Like, he's so alive. And, he's
Love that.
Okay, it's going to go on
Adding
my
to the
to-be
watch
watch.
list.
Yeah, it will be discussed next week.
Yes.
Do you have like a favourite cinema that you love to go to?
in Melbourne or in London?
In
the world.
The world. God, don't you love cinemas? Like, there's a cinema in Melbourne called the Rivoli, which is a really beautiful old cinema. In London, I would have to say the Bloomsbury Curzon. I feel
The blue. Okay, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
that one's
that's
nice.
just one of my favourites, kind of tucked away,
Yeah.
cozy. I used to
Yeah.
go there after drama school, and yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
there's
very
so many
comforting.
in London.
Yeah,
though. It's
so
just like,
many.
you've got
Yeah.
so many to choose from.
Yeah. And then, do you have any hot takes? Any film you think is overrated or underrated?
Quite a few.
Yeah. We yapped about this a long time yesterday.
Yeah.
episode.
Do you know what? I would have to say Saltburn. I felt got a lot of hype, and it just wasn't my cup of tea.
I see that.
I'm right there.
I
with
didn't
you.
mind
Yeah.
promising it. I like the director, but yeah, I just didn't really. It wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But it seemed to everyone went nuts.
I
Yeah.
fear
I
Wuthering
think
Heights
it's-
is going to do the same as well.
Yeah, I think it's because her I guess directorial view of things is really good. Like the cinematography of that film is stunning and beautiful. But I think because I went into it wanting so much from it because
Yeah.
everybody was talking about it, and I watched it and I was like, okay, so is this it?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay.
I know what you mean.
Like phenomenal, like acting and cinematography. But I was like, I agree. I was like, because it was so hyped.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be this phenomenal masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of had like Brideshead Revisited vibes. The book.
I love
Everyone
that
Wore,
book.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. Just it wasn't
my
Cool.
favourite
I was
book.
going to say Kitty recommended that book
it?
to me.
Yeah.
It's such a brilliant book. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because it had been pitched to me that way, I was like, oh my god, it's going to be like Brideshead Revisited. And then I was like,
Yeah.
oh, everyone's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see
Yeah.
how Wuthering Heights
I was going to say, we'll
goes.
see how that goes. Yeah.
What was your entry into this industry? Like, did you always know that you wanted to go into acting? Was there like a moment in your childhood you were like, yes, I want to do this?
I never was that kid that was like, I want to be Lucille Ball on screen. Do you know what? Like, I have very artistic parents. And so my mum was a drama teacher and directed the high school musicals, and she couldn't afford a babysitter, so I was kind of forced
To sit in rehearsals.
to be in the plays.
Oh, cool.
So like
Stop.
Guys and Dolls,
Yeah.
Pugsy Malone, me there like with a bun and then like dressed as a scarecrow and bushel and a peck and like the Salvation Army. So yeah, it was kind of just a lot surrounded by a lot of theatre and art as a kid. My dad was a musician. So yeah, and I guess at high school it was the one subject I could really, I just like locked in.
Yeah.
And
So
I think a teacher once said, like, how did you get her to learn her lines and pay attention on stage? And it's like, I could just focus.
Yeah.
And I think art, drama and literature were kind of my saviours in that regard. I wasn't very good at maths. And
I was the same.
Yeah, and then like, I guess, the school musicals, I kind of just loved musical theatre, even though I don't do that now, but that was, I just felt so free, like playing Miss Hannigan in Annie at like 17, where you're just like, you know,
it's so
gritty
and
gritty, and you're like a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
It was really,
So you went I was going to say, so you went to drama school after school,
yeah.
right? Was that musical theatre? Was that general education?
No, it was acting. I did I went to drama school in Australia straight after school, and I was quite young to get in, and then we kind of rolled around on the floor for 3 years.
I was going to say, I think that's the universal experience of acting school.
So it was like, you know, dressing as clowns, going out. It was so much fun, and we had such a great year level. And then I kind of did a bit of TV after that, and then I just had this desire to go to England, so I came over and did a Shakespeare course. And met some great people, and that was where they were like, you should come to RADA, and that's kind of where that chapter began.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's drum school. But so that was kind of it. And then it was this whole thing after that of like London, Australia. I was like, oh God, what have I done to myself? Like, it's like a blessing, but also a curse to be a part of two places.
Yeah, because I also like not that the information probably is super, super different from each other, but I'm guessing that education in like acting probably varies from like what you learned in Australia and here. Or would you say that like fundamentally it was the same?
I think fundamentally like the training in Australia would have similar techniques and practices and I guess methodology from like Stanislavski, and there's the same kind of things there. I suppose it's just a bigger thing, like, you know, we had West End theatre right next to our school.
Big time.
You know, there was a bit more of a prestige, I suppose. But, I think as training goes, the training in Australia is just as good as it is here. It's a matter of opportunity and how, you know, like I feel in England you could finish one of the drama schools here and go and do a play, like a Jez Butterworth play, and have a small part but learn from watching everyone, or understudy, whereas in Australia there's less big productions because the money's just not there. And we have a lot of two-handed or four-people plays, but we don't have those massive casts. And now, obviously, since COVID, things are shrinking as well.
Definitely.
But that, I think, you kind of get those opportunities on stage here to keep going as an actor. That's what I found in Australia. Those theatre gigs were quite competitive and harder to get.
Definitely. No, I went to a film school in LA, so I have a lot of friends that are still over there trying to do theatre and film as well, and they have a similar experience, you know, because so many of my friends have moved here now, just because opportunity for smaller parts is bigger here, if that makes sense. Also, because you learn so much from, like you said, being an understudy, having a little part in something. There's still like such a big production, where LA has really good theatre, but it's very limited because it's such a film-based city. So it's always very different,
It's quite interesting because a lot of drama schools in their third year curriculum are connected to theatres, and some in the West End. Like I know Oxford School of Drama, in your third year you go and do a show at the Southwark Playhouse, and then even though you're based in Oxford, you can invite agents and stuff to London, which I know like some of my friends who went to like Guildford School of Acting and stuff struggled being in a drama school and in a really great one, but outside of London, and getting them to be persuaded to come all the way on a train to come and visit you rather than just hopping on the tube for like 20 minutes. It's so
different.
important, and like you've already like kind of broken into the theatre scene and had an experience on a stage and potentially a West End venue or something already before you've even graduated. And I suppose like the theatres and the drama schools are helping each other kind of thing, because you're going to sell them out, aren't you? All your friends and family are going to come, so it's really clever. And it's so like, I don't know, I just think that's such a clever way to support each other and keep it going.
So when it comes to film then, I mean, given that you now do international TV and everything, like big productions, knowing the industry over here and how that kind of works, and Australia, how do you think those two vary? Like, not just theatre, do you think it's similar to the fact that Australia does have a film industry as well, but is it smaller than here?
I think the industry in Australia is, no different. Like, I think there's a misconception that things made in Australia are about pedophiles and murderers in the bush, like Wolf Creek, or but, like that we do make good, and there's some great horror films like Talk to Me, which is fabulous. That's just come out.
I was going to say I saw that.
Yeah, it's great. I think the misconception is that we make dark films, but we're also brilliant at comedy, like Kath and Kim or Colin from Accounts.
Yeah. Well, you have really good comedic timing on Dodger. Like that shows. How did you... So you've been part of Artful Dodger, right? So that's international in the sense of like crew? Or would you, is that...
No, it's probably more of a local crew.
More of a local crew?
From Perth.
Yeah.
But in terms of like crew, I feel like crews are the same in any kind of production, whether it be high budget or independent. I think
just the train that gets rolling.
They're just all as hardworking. Each project, what I've experienced seeing crew, I feel like they treat each project exactly the same. Everything is professional and it runs as smoothly as it can.
Absolutely.
I think mostly definitely Australian crew because it's an Australian production.
Exactly.
A few British leads, but obviously has the international pull of Disney and
everything behind that. It's quite impressive.
It's
cool. I also think it's nice like to take a moment to just like highlight how important like everybody behind the like scenes is. Like crews do so much work. I think sometimes you don't forget about it, but I think if you're like, especially if you're training to be an actor or something, then you go into productions and you see how many intricate moving parts there actually are. You're like, wow. Like, oh wow.
And like the reason actors are treated like babies sometimes is because like they don't want your costume to get ruined. So they'll be like, no, they'll follow you to the bathroom. They're like, okay, I've got to go to the bathroom, but they're like, no, she's got, and so like it's just it's a protection because the costumes cost a lot, and then there's there's so much work that goes into how we present on screen. Like I just turn up and speak and do a bit of acting opposite someone, but the things that happen around me, that's like the lighting, like it's it's like
the
lighting up there,
and
the lighting for every person, every skin color is so different because they want everyone to look amazing. And lighting, sound, hair and makeup. Like I could never do my hair. The way that they do my hair.
We were just talking about this before we started. Like your hair in the show. It's insane.
And it's funny. You're like, is it a wig? And the first AD, Charlie, at the very end of filming, she's like, is your hair a wig? I'm like, Charlie, I've been in the makeup chair for hours. For 2 hours. Like, if I had a wig, it wouldn't be that long.
Wow.
So they wouldn't let me cut my hair. The whole time I was like, come please cut my hair off. And they were like, no. Because they wanted it long because I made it easier to braid and put it all up.
Give it more styles, right?
I even, we're not meant to go too much into season 2, but like some of the hair that they did is just epic.
That's very cool.
And like the period hair, like the talent and expertise those particular hair and makeup artists have. I think there's someone here who worked, actually there is a British hair and makeup artist who's working on Pride and Prejudice at the moment because she's got a lot of expertise in like period.
So
it's a specific
absolutely.
thing for everything. But
the research that goes into all of that is insane as well. So many like intricate details of like colours and braid styles and making sure everything's lined up.
That's so like all of my experience was stage, and I never even stepped foot on a set. Even like training at drama school, I never stepped foot on a set until I was doing like extra work or maybe like a feature role, but like for these really big productions. And that's what shocked me was like stepping into the hair and makeup, and there'd be like pictures everywhere, there'd be like mood boards, there'd be everything, and all I had to do was just like sit down and wait. But there's been like months of conversations before that's even happened that obviously you're not there to listen to. It's crazy. And also just like a 20-minute filler scene, and they would have had like an hour's chat about what your hair will be like, what if it's a side parting or a middle parting, and you're like, I just have to sit here and have it done to me. Like I don't like. It's just so interesting.
I think that was like one of the first moments of walking on to production for Dodger season 1. Was how much everyone else had an idea of who your character was. And that then informed your choice. Well, like I still had and then there were little comments of like, oh, poor Fanny. And I'm like, no. Do not say
not
poor
Fanny.
Fanny is a powerhouse.
It is.
So there were like little intricate details that you got from the costume design of the hair. And then you're kind of like, because when I first read Fanny, I imagined her in like lace-up boots, like stomping about, and like hair falling out and a little bit messy. Whereas they were like, no, she's prim and proper, everything is perfect. I was like, interesting.
You're like, okay,
I see that, but you know, it's a collaboration. It's not just your character, and
fully.
also like the showrunner James, who you know spent 10 years working on this. Like he created this role, and then I kind of saw it and brought it to life. But I think it was one of the directors like, "Oh, that character was quite plain on paper at first." I was like, "No."
You're like, "No, there was so much to her.
She's so exciting."
Yeah.
And David Thiel said, you know, who was like, "This is one of the best. She's so funny."
Yeah,
Just like she plays the harp badly.
Yeah.
I rewatched that scene and I was like, how did you keep a straight face? Because then there's also the presentation of like,
and the dress was falling down.
And the swan as well.
I know. I was gonna say.
Oh gosh, it's so weird because I've just shot season 2 and I'm like, what happened?
What happened?
Season
Yeah, like what happened? Did you ever watch it back? How are you with watching yourself? I was going to say such a dumb question, but how are you with that?
I watched, of course, wanted to see everything come together. I think once for me. I know other actors that watched it multiple times. I think I watched it a little bit before shooting season 2. Just to
it's like a little refresh.
But obviously that was 2 years ago, so I've grown a bit and kind of like, okay, I've got to find that again.
Do you think, saying that you've grown a bit, do you think you bring that to your character as well, the experiences you've had in those years, or do you try to really differentiate, you know?
Yes. I can't say too much about the character in season 2, but I think naturally that can happen.
Because
I think with the writer knowing me, but you still have to find, I don't know, it's still in you, right?
Yeah.
It's just there's a youth and naivety, and I think as you get older that you start to play different characters. But she's also a romantic, so you can still access that. Like a 50-year-old can access a romantic, or a child, you know, and a 21-year-old can. So it's. I think I was nervous because I was like, oh my God, I'm so different now after 2 years. But then once you're in it, you're kind of like, oh wait, I get this.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bike.
Fine,
First day terrifying, but once you're in it, you're like, she's so lively and fun and energetic.
And you wore some incredible dresses and like bright colours. Did you have any say in like the costume fittings beforehand, or did you kind of just turn up and try on loads of different stuff?
They kind of had like a
mood board for it.
Yeah, mood board ready, but I can't say too much from season 2, but I'm very excited for everyone to see what.
Oh, I can't wait!
Because there's a storyline within just the costume.
Oh, interesting.
It like we have a new costume designer, but both absolutely incredible. On season 2, I think Marion did the dressmaker and a few other things, but.
Wow.
It's just epic.
Yeah.
Like, epic.
I'm excited to see it now.
Like new dress every
Nice.
Whereas season 1 was less because just
absolutely. So going back to the roots, how was that audition process like? Like, do you always going to say what do we remember of that?
The audition process. Interestingly, so I was living in the middle of the countryside, like 2 hours out of Melbourne, and I ended up getting this tape come through, and I asked a friend in England to read with me on Zoom, and then I sent it off, and then I was helping my mum move out of this little country property, so the house was empty, there was nothing there, and my brother was there too, and then at 6 p.m. on the Tuesday night, I get a call from my agent saying, you've got a call back on Zoom at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and I was like,
okay.
And then the new owners of this property were going through, and at that time at 9 a.m. And I was like, I can't drive back to Melbourne. Like, I can't go to a cafe. Like, where am I going to do this audition?
It's out in a little corner somewhere.
I was like,
and you need room.
And I was like, can we push these new owners? And they're not budging. And I was like, Sonia, Mum's like, I'll call the local council. So she calls Peter, this artist that runs the Red Rock Chapel and Gallery.
Yeah.
This is like middle of nowhere. So like I go and set up my little screen, my little camera in a chapel that's been converted into a gallery. Wow. So I'm then driving through paddocks at like 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
for this,
ready to go.
Call back. And so then I log on and the casting was like, oh, are you connected to your phone? Like, do you have normal internet? And I was like, no, just my phone internet.
Yeah. Ooh.
And then it was the director and then Maya Mitchell playing my sister.
Yeah.
And the director's like, God, the acoustics are amazing. Like, where are you?
And
I
you're
was
like,
like,
"Church."
I was like, oh,
a chapel.
I don't really have a place
hanging
at the
out.
moment. I'm in a chapel. And then I like showed them. I'm like, check out these paintings.
Oh my
like
gosh.
all these paintings on the wall, and they were like, this is kooky. But
That's probably very
I was
up to
gonna-
Fanny though, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like,
I was going to say, kind of
I
works.
was like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
But funnily, I found out like at the wrap party of season 1 or maybe this season, they were like, yeah, your audition tape was like cutting in and out.
Yeah.
So nearly like.
no way.
Oh, so they were
Jeopardised.
losing you
Because
throughout.
I didn't, the connection wasn't great, which I didn't find out too much later. And I was like, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
But
honestly, good that you didn't know, because I would have probably been so nervous,
Yeah.
like during the audition, if I would have known that I keep cutting out.
well,
yeah.
yeah,
Right?
exactly. So that you do
Yeah.
have to, if you ever do have that,
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure your connection is,
Yeah.
like really good.
Was it all?
and you're not using your phone as internet.
Yeah.
Don't be in a chapel.
Don't be.
I
Shout
don't
out
be in a-
Peter.
I think find a chapel.
Yeah, I
I
was
think
gonna
that's
say.
like something spiritual in there.
Everyone
Yeah.
needs to find a Peter
unique.
from Red Rock Chapel.
Literally. He was like, we've got this whole theatre, black box theatre. I was like, no, I think I'll use
Wow.
the chapel. The lighting was quite nice. So, but
Yeah.
And then that day, I got a call from my agent. And she's like, you've got an offer. And I'm like,
No way, on the same
on the
day.
same day.
Wow, and you
That's
hadn't met Myra in
amazing.
person or anything.
Just
it was
on Zoom.
Wow.
Yeah, so I booked that. Not even they didn't see my legs. So
Yeah, I was gonna say even like your heights, like
No,
to play sisters.
I didn't
and-
even send a little thing.
Wow.
But yeah, so that my agent's like, you got an offer, and I think they were really struggling to find Fanny.
Yeah.
They'd been auditioning for ages, so. I didn't even know how big they were. Like, I was like, "What's the role?" I said,
Yeah, like,
what is
and
it?
like 8 episodes. You're flying up to Sydney next week. I was like,
Wow.
And then I was
Stop.
on set.
That was
so
quick.
It was like,
Wow.
boom, boom,
The
boom.
turnaround
Yeah.
is
That's-
crazy.
That was
Yeah.
it was a fast. It was fast.
I was gonna say, I always feel like you either hear stories like this,
Where
where
it's
the
immediate.
turnaround is so quick, or you hear like stories of people waiting for like
Months,
3
and you've
months,
forgotten
6
that.
months.
Yeah,
Or
and
you
they get
assume
a
it's a
call.
rejection, and then you're like,
exactly,
oh,
and then they get the call, and they're like, oh that, oh yeah.
I think it's
Crazy.
it's quite refreshing because now if I do something, I let it go after. I'm like
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
ether because of how quick that happened.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, you know what? If
yeah.
they want me, they'll grab me.
Yeah,
it's meant for me, it'll
absolutely.
happen.
Yeah.
But then I think sometimes they can come back. Maybe when they can come back to tapes and go, okay, what you know. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
always
like
very
yeah,
different. No, I don't know the process, but
yeah.
that's
wouldn't
so
want to be custody.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because like I like the girls know I had like an audition earlier this year and I
Yeah.
like based my life on it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this is gonna change my life. And I would be like, no news is good news, right? Right? Right?
Yeah.
And
We
literally I
get
was
like 2 texts a day of her being like, so I haven't heard anything, but that's good, right?
but
I'd
there's
be
nothing
like,
on IMDb yet, right? Yeah, literally. I was like,
I'd be like, yeah, we're gonna be okay.
yeah.
So the casting is like some celebrity. You're like, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, no, that
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense.
I
yeah.
need to do what you do though, because I torture, but like I like put
Yeah, you really
notifications
do.
on IMDb, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
because
someone else has joined
I
the
was gonna
casting
say,
department.
because we share the same IMDb Pro account.
Yeah.
So when she starts tracking people, then I keep getting notifications of like, this person was added to
I'm
this thing.
stressing you out as well. You're like, Imogen,
I'm
stop.
like, I mean, no.
I turned my notifications on.
Yeah, I could just like out of it.
Yeah, I think see the audition as a way of having fun and getting to play that role. Like that's
Yeah.
your opportunity, and whatever comes after doesn't matter.
That's a nice way
it's
of looking
hard.
at it.
It's hard to channel, like to flip that in your brain because
Yeah.
there is so much rejection. And
Yeah.
statistically, it's very difficult to book some
Yeah.
massive roles. But you know, I think if you can go, I get the chance to do this and have
Yeah.
a great time.
Yeah.
It's a hard auditioning is like,
Yeah.
you know, but it's like if you can just change that, or if you have to go in the room, which doesn't always happen, but it's happening more now, to go like, this is my time, this is
Yeah.
my space, to, you know, not theirs,
Yeah,
even though it
yeah.
isn't, you know, but
That's really nice to look at it that
I
way.
think it's,
yeah.
you have to, otherwise you'll eat yourself up because
Yeah.
majority, like even some of the biggest stars, they are facing rejection, or they're
Yeah.
facing films that are losing funding, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's you know, being an artist is
Yeah.
mostly
kinda need
rejection.
thick
As a
skin,
writer,
yeah.
you've got, you know,
Yeah.
people rejecting your words
Yeah.
all the time, and it's something you have to learn to not take to heart, I think.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
think understanding that it doesn't really have anything to do with you.
Yeah.
You know, especially like casting directors.
And you go through stages, obviously, sometimes you're like,
like it is me.
and then
Yeah.
other times you're like, yeah, cool, she's right,
Yeah.
she's perfect.
And it'll be
Yeah.
like multiple things falling at once,
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, guys,
Yeah.
like I
at
can't
the end-
take this all on.
No, exactly. Because at the end of the day, like casting directors know what they're after. And I think that's probably, you know, where you were saying that you saw Fanny in such a way and then you came to set and you were like, oh. But like they probably saw that you saw something, what they wanted to see. So that's why they went with
that they
her.
hadn't seen
exactly.
in someone else.
So
I
like
think-
people know what they're
yeah.
after and then it's just like,
They just need to see someone
Yeah.
do it.
I think living in London, like I was living in the middle of the countryside, like cut off from society.
Yeah.
I
So you
was,
couldn't
I
compare
was
yourself or-
crocheting. I was somewhat
Yeah.
living in 1850.
me. She's in
This
her
is
little
me.
crochet
I
area
love
at the moment,
crochet.
yeah.
I love crochet.
And then I think knowing like some interesting British girls I've met here, I kind of went, oh, I can do this. I can do this accent. I can do this, even though, and she's kind of artistic and unhinged. And I was like, I can do that.
Yeah, I like that.
Just
yeah.
have fun, yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely like, I guess sometimes you find roles come to you and they make sense, but other times you might get a role and you're like, I just like I could do this, but I know I'm not going to get it. Or
Yeah.
it's like I can,
Like, I know
or you
it's not
visualize
mine.
someone else, and that's when
Yeah.
you're like, when
Yeah.
you already start thinking of, unless you kind of try and channel whatever that is. But yeah.
You know, I remember seeing an interview last year. I think it was Will Poulter. It was a Warfare interview,
love
and he
that
had
man.
3 movies coming out last
Yeah.
year. And
Yeah,
I think
what was the other one?
Death of a Unicorn, and there was one other one. And like Kit Connor said something to him, like making a joke, like, "Oh, you've got 3 movies. Like, look at you." Blah, blah. And he was like, "No. There's been like years of nothing." He was like, "There's been years of nothing. Like, it's just all like happened now."
Exactly. Again, such a quick turnaround. Like if something's meant for you, it will literally like be like
fall
bam.
in your place.
Yeah, there's the woman that plays my mother, Susie Porter. I love her dearly.
She's so good as well.
Yeah.
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
She's a
Wonderful.
phenomenal actress in Australia. And, you know, she went to London and, you know, like she stayed in Australia and is brilliant, you know, working a lot over there. But I think, she always says to me, like, what is meant for you? Well, you know, you're meant to be here. And I think it's important to know that if something doesn't happen, like I was meant to have a big 9-month tour. When, but then it fell through because of COVID. And had I been doing that tour, I would never have done the audition for Dodger. So there's certain things of like, when things do fall through the cosmos, I think it tends to show what you need in life, or what, you know, what is for you, and to try and not be beaten up by that, but to go, okay, this is what I'm doing now. And to trust, you know. Easy said than done, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how have you found after season 1 came out? I mean, people loved that show. People loved that show.
That's
Yeah,
good.
online especially.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
did that, like, did you
what
see
was
fan
life
edits? I was
like?
going to say,
Yeah.
did anything, like, did you see it be loved as much as, like, we saw it be
Yeah.
loved?
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely got like messages on Instagram.
Yeah,
and
they're like, oh my God, I
TikTok.
love you.
Yeah.
Fanny, you're so underrated.
Yeah.
You should have more scenes. I'm like,
Justice
thank
for
you.
Fanny.
Whoa.
There's lots of funny TikTok videos that like are
Hilarious,
just like
yeah.
really corny pop songs and like
Yeah.
quite sweet, you know, people making little sister videos of Belle and Fanny. and
Yeah.
and then even like seeing, I think someone recently predicted season 2 and I was like,
Damn.
And you're like, oh, look at that.
but it was quite sweet. I don't know. It just kind of, I don't know. I've no expectations with it, but I think it's a show that deserves, I think there's so much like hard work and
so much love for
talent
it,
and creativity and you've got such a phenomenal cast and like James the showrunner, you know, he did his PhD in 19th century medicine and he's been working on it for 10 years and
Wow.
it's his ideas
Wow.
and the
I
way-
didn't know that.
No,
That's
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
He
makes
he's
sense,
been
yeah.
working on it for 10
Yeah.
years, so
Incredible.
basically
Wow.
it's kind of his baby and
Yeah.
he's so he's a dramaturg as well.
Yeah.
Like, he'll talk about your story and you'll really kind of get into the nitty gritty. He'll ask like, is this line, you know, you can have a conversation if something's not working. If you're one of the lead, you know, it's a really special project and it's full of really cool people.
Yeah.
And we're all just very lucky
Yeah.
to be there.
Yeah.
Even though the corsets are painful, but
I can imagine. I remember back in LA, I did like we called it styles class. So it's basically like Victorian era, whatever, like, you know, learning the different styles of how you're holding yourselves, how you're dressing, etc. And
Sorry, my phone just fell.
And they put me in a corset as well, and I was like, I do not like this, I cannot breathe, my rib cage.
Well,
and that was for like 1 hour a week. So I was going to say you're probably you're probably in there like, I don't know, all day, every day.
Yeah. And also because of timing, like it takes 45 minutes to like dress and undress, and so then you're waiting on set. But there's a real like anatomy to the body. Like you've got these costume designers who have studied corsetry, and they know how to tie it and tighten it where the soft parts of your skin are, so that you can breathe. There were times where it wasn't tight, and then I was like, that's not. But I probably didn't. I was probably like, no, tighter there.
Yeah.
And you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Pass out. But it's a but like it informs everything. Like it allows you to.
I was going to say, do you feel like it helps you get into the character?
Completely. Like it's heavy in the layers and in the heat, especially in Australia and Sydney. But that gives you the posture. That's what they would have done
that would
then.
like pulls you up. Yeah.
It's if anything, it's quite good. I think like a corset and like any role would be great for me. Focused.
I'm like, put me in a corset, please. Like I don't know.
Do we put one on you starting now? For all of the episodes?
Excuse me.
Has anyone got a corset first, please?
I really want to ask about like when season 2 was renewed. Do you remember like where you were when you found out and like who you called?
Were you in a chapel again?
It was Peter from Red Rock.
Funnily enough, I was in Sydney at the Equity Ensemble Awards. We were up for Best Ensemble for Dodger.
Oh wow!
And a few of us were going, and my agent like calls me, and I'm like getting ready. I'm already running. Like, he's like, so I'm just letting you know, like season 2 is being renewed, and I was like. And I think it was because we were going to the awards. There was some Disney people there, and they wanted us to know before. So I think
that's really good timing then.
Right?
Because I guess you're excited for that.
And were you with the cast like straight away?
With Maya, who plays my sister, and Nicholas Burton, who plays Sneed.
Nice.
Who else was there? I think everyone was kind of away. It was it's Sydney Theatre Company. And
well, it's so nice you were together.
It was
celebrate.
I think it was Maya knew this whole time.
Oh, she did? Did she?
So I think she was like, they have to find out. I can't go to this event and not tell them. Like.
Imagine she just slips up. She's like, oopsie.
So it's so super exciting. I'm very lucky, and I'm very excited for everyone to see what comes.
I think the fandom is really excited for that as well.
I think they had like a petition, like please let there be season 2, which was
because I was going to say, because I didn't even realise that was up for discussion. I just thought like, definitely they'll renew that. And then I remember opening TikTok, I think it was, and I had like 3 or 4 videos back to back of being like, oh my God, bring it back, how dare you? And I was like, I didn't know this was happening. And then like a few weeks later I saw it was renewed, and I was like,
there's so many
guys.
There's so many
petitions. Good job,
like,
guys.
We were talking the other day about this show called The Society on Netflix, which like had me in a chokehold in COVID. Like it was so good.
Me too.
And it was like they actually announced it was renewed for season 2.
And then they cancelled it.
And these petitions went crazy. Like it never got picked up again.
It's a tricky time to get things greenlit and made.
I think I was going to say, I think it was a timing because COVID and everything.
Like even people are up for BAFTAs and these shows don't get renewed. It's just it's very I don't know.
TV's scary like that.
And it's scary that even though something can be so popular and have such a huge fan base, you're still not guaranteed a green light for a new season. Do you know what I mean? It's so much.
Some things are definitely guaranteed, like the money's there and they've paid. But it's very dependent on so many different factors. Viewing and there's a lot that is. We've got so many streaming platforms now.
So many.
There's a lot that gets lost, and like to get you've got to do the right kind of publicity and everything to get people knowing about it and watching it. Otherwise, it falls through and. For a show like The White Lotus or it's rare for shows to get that,
to explode like that after a season. And
it's also a bit of a tangent, but like seeing shows go back onto Netflix that were popular years ago and then get a resurgence of new fans, like things from like Skins went back on there after being on E4, like My Mad Fat Diary I think was on like Channel 4 or something.
And there's not a lot of like new writing. There is, but it's not being picked up because everyone wants to watch what's
remakes
which is okay as well, but
I think sometimes it's like the comfort of going back to things you already know, and
From
then studios
nostalgia.
like know that works, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's already a fan base. Yeah, completely.
It's like redoing all the original like Disney princess films and stuff. Like they just know that.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's why this was so endearing with Dodger, though.
Yeah.
Because
I
like,
love
everyone
that so
loved it and
much.
was like, this is such an original
Yeah.
story, really wanting it to get renewed. And then when it did, everyone was just so excited for it.
Yeah.
Well, it was a spin-off, so it's so different from
Dickens.
Dickens novels. It's just that Dodger gets on a ship and goes to Australia, and that's all that happens in Oliver Twist. But
Yeah.
it's like this whole other world with
Yeah.
all these kooky
Yeah.
so it's kind of like its own thing, really, but it's got the two archetypal, Fagin and Dodger, but everyone's like, oh yeah, Lady Fanny Fox. I'm like, no, she's not in the original.
Yeah.
It's a new character.
I was going to say she's not in there, darling.
But she's still got the comedy and that kind of satire and the things that come out of Dickens' stories are still very much in this. So
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting.
I was going to say.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
it like then working on a show that does have that sort of presence of Dickens? Like, how present was that when you were making it, or was it just more focused on it being an original thing? Because obviously you've got, as you just said, Dodger and Fagin, but then all these original characters. Like, was there any? How present was?
I guess you've got Oliver Twist in season 1, who's like an
It's a fun little surprise, I think.
There's a few little twists and turns. I don't know. I think it's its own thing. I think it's definitely got the kind of darkness and the comedy that comes from that, but it's also like Sherlock Holmes, Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Or not Sweeney Todd, but
But with like the surgery and stuff, you've got like the gritty,
like Grey's Anatomy in the 1850s. But it's it's a unique in its. There's a lot of different kind of Dickens spin-offs, and I don't think
many.
it's not like an original, film that is The Bleak House, or it's not. But I think the writer has studied a lot of Dickens, and it is within the writing and the language is in that kind of
like
world and era.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there any, having had that experience in anything, what would be some advice, I guess, to people that have a similar journey to yours, but that are much, much earlier on? So, like, I think already what you said with the audition process and handling rejection, like, making sure that that is your space and it's not their space, even though they might be looking for something. But is there any other words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom.
that you have? I mean, especially because, I think actors are so ambitious and want to achieve so much and want to do so much, and it's so intimidating.
It's hard. It's definitely hard. It's it's not an easy feat to. Obviously, there's much harder careers and much more important, people saving lives out there. But there's definitely you've got to have a bit of resilience and perseverance, I think. But I don't know, my advice would just be like, try and stay curious. Try and stay open as much as you can. Don't let all the things that are going on affect your work and your art and your craft. I think for me, booking a role, I think like keeping it simple, don't overcomplicate things, and I love it. But it's important to I think stay simple and do the things you love and find things outside of acting that you love.
I was going to say some balance, right?
Like cooking, or even if you just want to read a play, crocheting, exactly, or other forms of creativity. If you've got all this energy and it's not happening in acting, or putting on your own work, filming something on your phone, just making stuff with people, so that because it is hard, and I think there are ways to stay creative and to not let the lack of funding or things affect your process, and and to just trust, I think, and not force anything.
That's cool.
But to kick a few doors down, but not
you can knock on the door and be like, "Hey guys,
hi,
please let me in."
I just think, and reading a lot and staying and going to galleries and watching going to the theatre. If you live in the countryside, go and see what's happening. Stand-up comedy. Just see what's out there and be inspired, or watch old films or listen to interviews. It's just I think.
Do you have a favourite old film?
Oh,
Good
God.
question, sorry.
That's a good question.
Bit random questions to say.
Like 90, like 80?
Anything.
So how are we defining old?
I was going to say, how are we
like
defining
old?
old?
Oh, Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's not super old, but
I mean,
It's
like,
still like classic.
yeah.
Like
I do like
I
that
love
film.
Cassavetes. I love Woman Under the Influence. That was one of my favourite films I didn't mention before.
Yeah.
He's probably one of my favourite directors. But
Yeah, he's great.
I don't know.
Those are good ones. Yeah, I don't know. What's old? Is Wim Wenders old now?
Something will come to me. Oh, there is something that
There's so many good ones.
I watched Breakfast at Tiffany's way too young. Like,
Did
my
you?
mum,
Did you?
I think just wanted to watch it, and I think I was like 4.
What?
And I remember learning years later.
Oh my god, a cat!
what it was about.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did you watch that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Rogue
It's a good
choice
film.
from
I actually
It is
haven't seen that in
amazing.
a few years. Yeah, it's a really good one.
There's another film, but I can't remember the name of it.
No.
which is annoying.
That's okay.
Yeah.
There's so many.
do you have any like dream roles or projects you'd love to join, or
It's so
franchises?
Funny. Franchises. Football, no. No chance. Definitely not. But dream roles. Everyone always asks this question. I never know how to answer it because you can't. Sometimes you get a script and you're like, "That's my dream role."
Yeah, I didn't know it until now,
Yeah,
but it's that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what? I've always wanted to play Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd.
Stop.
I don't think
Such
I'm
a good
vocally
shout.
ready for that. But
Well, you did Miss Hannigan in Annie,
well,
so
yeah,
you're ready.
I was like, 17-year-old me would love to play her. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I have a big love of independent cinema and film. And I think I would love to be in like a foreign film, but I can't just like speak French and just be like,
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Also something. I mean, just like Dodger, where there's so much love behind it, and there's so much attention,
Passion
like,
and years of research,
Yeah.
and it's just done so right.
Yeah.
Like safe hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Wow.
I mean,
I
we're
was
so
gonna
excited
say.
to watch season 2.
Yeah.
Like
I
when
wish
it
I could
comes
tell you
out.
more.
Yeah.
We'll bring you back on season
No, it's
2
good.
for us.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, okay, we can talk about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
No,
Thank you so much
for coming on and joining us
Thank
today.
you.
So cool. So
Thank
fun.
you.
And a big thank you to the Transmissions Roundhouse as well.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys. Thank you.
Transmissions round.
It's all looking.